So, what do I think that April is going to bring? April 2025 is big shifts. It's the ideal time to set up goals for manifestation, and it is a journey inwards because of the retrograde energy. So, let's delve in deeper. Namaste and welcome back to Psychiana. April 2025 is packed with transformative cosmic shifts. We have a powerful new moon, Mercury retrograde, Venus going through various retrogrades, combustion, and other shifts and turns. There is this cluster of planets in Pisces, including Saturn and Rahu. More about it later. There is Cancer affected with Mars energy. And Cancer is really cranky when Mars is with it. I would also say that Mars is very uncomfortable with Cancer. And of course, we have the moon, which is emotion. First of all, there is nothing that happens in isolation. There are certain energies from March that carry forward into April. We have the solar eclipse on March 29th, conjunct the fixed star Algani, which in Hindu astrology is known as Purva Bhadrapada, the nakshatra. The qualities of Purva Bhadrapada are honorary riches, mental quickness, spiritual growth, ambition, determination, and of course, a potential for violence. Whenever I see that there is a potential of violence, I always advise people to check out where their Mars is. Because Mars, my friends, is aggression. You might get irritable, you might get broody. That doesn't cause a lot of damage. But when you take this into action, it can cause a lot of uh, damage. So, what are the potentials here? Globally, this eclipse is going to bring in a shift, new leaders, new movements, a lot of social justice, a lot of issues regarding equality. There are going to be military, political, and technological advancements. There are going to be controversial economic developments. I expect a lot of issues to do with economy and with cryptocurrency. And regionally, for India and its neighbors, there can be an increase in political activism and social reforms. You know, in Southeast Asia, politics, social justice, equality are linked with religion. So I see conflict related to politics as well as social justice with a religious dimension, and that can be incient. So be very careful and be very observant of the social landscapes you inhabit. That being said, let's move on to April. April 1st, there is new moon in Revati. The Revati nakshatra is deeply introspective and it brings completion, new beginnings. This is the best time for meditation, water rituals, dream journaling, and setting spiritual intentions, sankalp. The new moon is in Pisces. Revati is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury, my friends, is retrograde right now. So there is a lot of inner movement. Work with the throat chakra. Work with the crown chakra, the Vishuddha and the Sahasrara. Perform water-based cleansing rituals. If you can, if you live close to a water body like a lake or a river, there are a lot of rituals you can do with that water body. In any case, take a glass of water, pray to it in the night, and pray for your spiritual goals, your intentions, and set it on your nightstand. In the morning, pick up that water and pour it into your tulsi or pour into the grass to solidify your intentions. I will share a lot of more rituals for the Revati Nakshatra in my Patreon. From April 1 to April 22nd, Mercury is retrograde in Pisces. Now, Mercury retrograde in Pisces means your communication is very indirect. It's foggy. Your intuition is sharp. You have a sixth sense about whatever is happening, but you will miss details. So avoid signing contracts or making big decisions. It's a great time for shadow work, for dealing with and healing your inner trauma, revisiting old ideas, and for being intuitive because your logic has gone for a vacation, my friends. If technology glitches and miscommunication happen, take it easy, take a deep breath. This is the universe telling you to slow down. Spend time appreciating whatever is happening and not participating in it. Saturn and Rahu are conjunct in Pisces. It's no longer about truths we can handle. It's about facts that simply cannot be kept undercover, regardless of whether we can accept it or not. These truths are going to hit us very badly in our personal life as well as on the public stage. Expect shocking events. Expect changes. The big players this month are USA, which means Trump, Russia, which means Putin, and Israel and Israel. On April 2nd, Mars enters Cancer. Mars is aggression, it's irritation, it's anger and conflict. And Cancer, my friends, is very emotional. Emotional energies make Mars uncomfortable, make Mars reactionary. Distortion, passive aggressive moves, agitation, all these will be par for the course. Now, this is going to affect USA, which has Cancer as its eighth house. Eighth house is loss of control. Eighth house is loss of stature. It is about secrecy, secret handshakes, secret negotiations, and it's about karma. Expect karmic pressure and Donald Trump. Certain interpretations of Donald Trump's chart, spring 2025 is very difficult for him. Transiting Saturn will square both of Trump's luminaries, that is Sun and Moon, and they conjoin his natal Saturn. Trump's lunar return is on April 17, and this has Mars in the midheaven. There are going to be stresses, there are going to be tensions which are directly shown in his chart. Additionally, there are other angles involving Mars, the Sun, and Pluto that occur between April 24th and April 29th. There is significant stress in his chart. Another assassination attempt? Who knows? But I cannot rule out the possibility. Whatever it is, April presents a serious challenge for Mr. Donald Trump. And let's move on to April 7th. Mercury goes direct. Check my videos on Saturn in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus for more information. I'll link both these videos to the end of this video. Watch digital currencies closely. That is where the clash and disturbance will occur first. Saturn aspecting Uranus, and there is Rahu, which is amplifying it all. See, what is going to happen is Saturn is going to cause a lot of stress. Saturn is foundation. That is where the stress is going to happen. Now, for the planet Earth, ground is the foundation. Expect stresses to build up. Expect earthquakes, volcanic activity, and other geographical phenomena. Pisces is water, so I also expect floods, droughts, other water disturbances, tsunamis, storms. So that is where our weather in April is at. April 14th, Sun enters Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra. Sun in Aries supercharges vitality, confidence, and courage. It's a perfect time for you in your personal life to start new projects, initiate change, focus on self mastery. Ashwini Nakshatra is ruled by the Ashwini twins, divine healers. This amplifies healing energy. If you have a chronic condition, right now is the time to research what holistic healing you can adopt to alleviate your condition. Remember, if you're waiting for the right moment to take action, this isn't. Go for it, people. Research what healing you can do at a personal level and adopt it into your life. April 15th, full moon is in Hasta Nakshatra. This is ideal Virgo. This is manifestation, precision, and once more, healing. The healing energies, my friends, are very strong. Consider hands on healing, Reiki, energy healing, chakra balancing, Ayurveda. These rituals can be extra effective right now. Journal your manifestations, practice gratitude, cleanse your space to amplify this full moon's energy. April 23rd, Mars moves into Leo. The theme now is power, confidence, and passion. Expect bold action, leadership opportunities, and strong willpower. Be mindful of ego clashes and impulsive decisions. This is the excellent time for goal setting, fitness, and creative expression. This is very precious energy. Use this energy wisely. Do not let ego and pride create unnecessary conflict. Be empathetic, be humble, and listen before you act. Now, let me talk about your moon and rising signs and how April is going to treat you. Aries, that is Mesh, Lagna, and Chandra. The key transits for you are Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and Aries. This brings personal power and opportunities because it's first house energy for you. Mercury is retrograde in Pisces. Pisces is 12th house right now, and it triggers spiritual reflection. Mars is in Cancer. Mars in Cancer will cause conflict, and Aries, it's the fourth house for you. So there are emotional tensions at home. It's the best time to maximize the first house energy, self leadership, taking charge, set your personal goals, be mindful of impulsive reactions in relationship, work on emotional grounding through the root chakra, practice grounding exercises. The mantra for you would be Om Namo Bhagavatai Vasudevaya. This is a very good grounding mantra. Chant it 108 times every day and use root vegetables for ground. Now let's talk about Taurus. Rishabh, Lagna, and Chandra. Taurus, Mercury retrograde in Pisces is happening in the 11th house. That is your social life and financial plans. There is a slowdown over there. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in your Aries. The Aries is your 12th house. So the urge to work alone in solitude is very strong. Concentrate on doing the inner work. Mars is in Cancer, third house. This heightens stresses in communication. Do not be argumentative. Think before you speak. Consider this a month for deep spiritual reflection, not external action. Avoid major financial investments. Prioritize mental clarity. Throat chakra, Vishuddha. That is where you need to work. Journaling, meditation, focusing on mindful speech, chanting. And most importantly, do not argue with anybody. Gemini, Mithun, you consider argument a sport. So let's see how this energy is going to work out for you. Mercury retrograde is in the 10th house. Pisces is your 10th house right now. It delays your progress career wise. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in Aries, 11th house. They bring you network opportunities. Mars is in Cancer, second house. This can create impulsive spending. See, career and finances require patience. Focus on long term planning, long term investments rather than immediate gains. If you're into stocks, day trading is not the way to go. You have to consider long term investments. Career progress is good, but mental clarity is essential for you. Be cautious with words. Avoid unnecessary debates. As I've said earlier, Gemini, you consider arguments sport. Be very careful. Other people might not be considering it sport and they take it personally. Cancer. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is in your. This causes delays and obstacles in travel and higher education. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in the 10th house of that is Aries. They support your growth career wise. Mars is in Cancer in your first house. This is going to be a very triggering time. Your emotions are unpredictable. You are emotionally volatile. You need grounding. So you need to work on your root chakra. Slow down, practice mindfulness, avoid emotional overreactions. Leo, sing. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is in your 8th house. 8th house is subconscious. So this is going to bring deep subconscious healing. Sun, Jupiter, Venus are in Aries in your 9th house. 9th house is spiritual growth for you. Mars is in Cancer in your 12th house. I think you will have very restless sleep and you might have hidden traumas, hidden fears that surface right now. It's a great time for spiritual breakthrough, Leo, but avoid making unilaterally reckless decisions. Meditation, healing work will be very beneficial for you. Concentrate on your ajna, your third eye chakra. You can activate it right now. Dream journaling, intuitive work, meditation will be very helpful all through April. Now let's go to Virgo, Kanya Lagna. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is happening in your 7th house. This is going to bring a lot of misunderstandings in your legal relationship. See, 7th house is not only your spouse, it is your business partnerships. It is your contract-based relationships. Misunderstandings, there can be losses, personal as well as financial and business related. Sun, Jupiter, Venus are in Aries in your 8th house. This can cause emotional intensity. And Mars in Cancer happens in your 10th house, bringing tension in friendship. Virgo, this is a very tense period for you. Your relationships, your emotional stability are challenged. This requires patience. Avoid major commitments and focus on inner healing. Strengthen your heart chakra, your anahata. Practice self-love. Avoid getting triggered. Libra moon, Libra rising. Your key transits are Mercury retrograde in Pisces is happening in your 6th house. This causes work delays. Sun, Jupiter, Venus are in Aries in your 7th house. These bring relationship into focus. Mars in Cancer is in your 10th house. This causes workplace conflict. My energy reading for you would be practice patience in work and relationships, avoid hasty decisions, and stay balanced. The chakra you should focus on is the Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra. This requires balancing and healing. Focus on emotional intelligence in relationships. Do not obsess on the words being said to you. Focus on the intention. Is it positive? Is it negative? Focus on how a person shows up for you instead of what he says or what he looks like. It's time to go beyond the superficial. Now let's talk about Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon sign. Mercury retrograde Pisces happens in your 5th house. 5th house is creative projects, and since this is Mercury retrograde, there will be delays in the creative project. There can be obstacles. The project might not get presented in the right slot or the right audience. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus in Aries happens in your sixth house, bringing health improvement. Mars in Cancer is happening in your ninth house. This is very risky because ninth house is professional, and then you might be having disagreements with your mentors. Strengthen your Manipura, your solar chakra, solar plexus chakra for confidence. Avoid unnecessary debates. In fact, I would say this across the board, all zodiac signs, please avoid arguments, avoid debates. It's Mercury retrograde. It's time for self discipline and time for keeping your communication clear, short, and to the point. Sagittarius, Dhanu Lagna, Sagittarius moon. Mercury retrograde in Pisces happens in the fourth house, affecting home life. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in the fifth house, bringing creative energy. Mars in Cancer happens in the eighth house, causing emotional instability. Sagittarius, the time is for inner creativity, but not external change. Emotional security is the key. Work on your Swadhisthana, your sacral chakra. Avoid over analyzing emotions. Practice expressive art. Many times, your art carries a stronger message than you personally can. Makar. Mercury retrograde in Pisces happens in your third house. Third house is communication. So please be careful of what you say and when. Be mindful of the audience for your communication. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in Aries in your fourth house. This brings home and property into focus. Mars in Cancer happens in your seventh house, and this can create relationship tension. So, Capricorn, home and relationships are requiring patience right now. Strengthen your Vishuddha chakra, your throat chakra, for clearer communication. Speak with kindness. Avoid confrontations. Avoid being sarcastic. Aquarius, Kumbh. Mercury retrograde in Pisces happens in your second house. Watch it, Aquarius. Second house is finance. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in the third house in Aries. They bring travel and learning opportunities. Mars in Cancer happens in the eighth house. This improves health but brings workplace tension. So, the path forward, Aquarius, for you is consider this a period of learning growth. Handle your finances with caution and strengthen your anahata, your heart chakra, for emotional stability. Save money. Avoid unnecessary arguments and you'll be okay. Pisces. Mean. Mercury retrograde is in your first house. This creates major self-doubt for you, Pisces. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus are in the second house in Aries. They bring financial opportunities. So do not second guess yourself. You might be onto a very strong financial opportunity. Mars in Cancer happens in your fifth house. This awakens your creative side, but also makes you emotionally very unstable. So watch it. Meditation, strengthening your sense of self, introspection, moving your body, Pisces, can be very healthy for you. Because remember, Pisces, lymphatic system moves when your body moves. And it purges. So, long walks, dance, any kind of physical activity will be very beneficial for you. So, how do you fight this? Remember, April is a month of deep transformation. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to shine? Are you ready for these cosmic shifts? Let me know what your rising and moon sign is. Let me know how you are experiencing these energies at a personal level. And above all, if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications for more sidereal astrology updates. Do you want a personalized astrology reading? Check the link in the description to book with me. And above all, Join me in my next video. Join me in Patreon. Thank you. Namaste.